Paul and Sergio, and you said something about this fight being free. Well, enjoy this because this will probably be the last time that you'll see either one of these fighters for free on a network because they'll probably be on pay-per-view after this, whoever the winner is anyway. But as far as the intangibles of the fight, it's funny, we were just talking about catch weights, and, this fight is a middleweight fight, but it's at 157 pounds, right, BJ?
57 or 58, which George Peterson was saying.
Okay, all right, so... they are, I think the okie doke is in effect. We came at Pacquiao about catch weights, the same thing we got to come at Paul. But you know what I always say? I was never one of these dudes that ranked on catch weights. I'm all about whatever you can do to gain advantage for your fighter, so I don't have a problem with it. But I'm just saying since it's a subject that's sour around here, I figure we bring that up. But, as far as the actual X's and O's goes of the fight, we got to keep in mind one thing, and for both fighters, this when they fought the first time, Martinez was a fill-in for Pavlik. So I know that you're game planning for a flat-footed 1-2 fighter to a dude that can do all types of punches from angles, the speed. It's just a totally different fighter. And to me, that was Paul kind of learning on the job fight, if you will. I thought he fought the wrong fight in that fight. He walked into punches. Paul lately been trying to walk everybody down, and that's the wrong guy to try to walk down because, like a Pacquiao, he has angles, and he can make you look stupid coming straight forward. But that being said, Paul, with all his flaws, was right there in the fight, punching with Martinez, catching him in the process. I thought Martinez got fatigued in that fight because Paul throws so many punches, he would make anybody fatigue. And in this fight here, I think that Paul had a full training camp. I think that Martinez is a little chubby right now, pardon the pun. And what I mean by that, from reading his own press clippings, and the weight tells no lies to me, because to me, that means he's a little unfocused if he's weighing 200 pounds, because he shouldn't be weighing that much, even if he was still fighting at middleweight. But that being said, they still got to fight in the ring. I just think that this is a big moment for Paul. He knows it. He understands it. I think that he will be outclassed early on in the fight. I'm going to go for a shocker here. I got Paul knocking Sergio Martinez out midway through this fight. I think that the weight loss here is going to be detriment to Martinez, and I think it's going to fatigue him late in this fight. And I just think the work rate of Paul Williams is going to over-prevail in this fight. I think he gets a knockout in this fight. I think Martinez, like I said, will look good early on, catching Paul, clipping him with right hands and all that stuff. But I'm picking Paul by knockout midway through the fight. I'm going to just go with, the 9th round.
I'm very confused with this fight right here. Like, I don't know Paul. Paul confuses me. Paul is the guy who has all the tools in the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, Paul is Kevin Durant in basketball, but he chooses not to shoot the three-point.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but he won't use his mid-range. He won't shoot the three. He just wants to dunk on you. He's Kevin Durant with the range. He can shoot the mid-range. He can back you up. He can do everything. But he refuses to do those things. He just rather dunk on you all day. So when he goes against a Doc Rivers, it makes him look bad. Now, this Kevin Durant type of guy has shown up in rematches and totally made everybody look, dumb who picked against him. And I was a person who picked against him. And if you remember, GYGB was one of the first people to sit on, the Paul Williams bandwagon. You know what I mean? And I kind of put myself out there, and when he lost the first time, said, maybe this guy doesn't have the skill set, or he's not using the skill set. I'm kind of there again, even though Train made a very good assessment about the fight being taken, 2 weeks to change. But Paul, I think in his desperation to try to get the powers to be to rain the money down, he makes fights more difficult than what they need to be. Paul can wipe the floor from anybody 160 down if he just box. He don't box. He bangs people out. So if you're going to bang out this cyclist, now him being 200 pounds means a whole lot now if he ain't taking it serious. But one thing about the cyclist, he'll make you miss a punch. You know what I mean? So, it's like this is one of them confusing fights. I'm going to go, my heart's telling me Paul by decision, but then again, I don't know, man. I say a draw. I don't know what Paul's going to show up in this fight, man. So maybe it's another action-packed fight. Martinez dominating early, Paul finishing off strong, but Paul still trying to bang him out, man. And I'm gonna go with another draw.
All right, so there you have it. Sleep is torn.
I'm confused.
And you're confused, okay? And now we go to the talented Mr. B.J. Ripley. So let's get to it.
Well, I put it to you this way. To me, Pac-Man is the Phoenix Suns of offense. So that makes Paul Williams basically the 1993 to 96 Supersonics of Seattle. I'll put it this way. I think this catchweight thing, then Pac-Man opened up a whole new can of worms with all these damn catchweights.
No.
So everybody in the comments is going to start doing catchweight, and I know Trey's assessment is he don't care. I keep about this shit for titles. Fight at the right weight, damn it. But I'm making my assessment off of this. I don't think Pac-Man or Floyd is going to fight neither one of these cats. So
no.
The best
I agree.
for them
Co-sign on that. Yeah.
The best way for them to make money is to make this into a trilogy. So I'm going to call it a draw, but I'm pulling for Paul Williams to win this shit so he can basically say he's one of the elite and one of the best out there, and he can call anybody's name out, and they have to face him. But I think it's going to be a real close fight where the fact of Paul going to win a couple rounds early, Sergio a couple rounds early, but the key assessment is Sergio would like to take a break around probably around the 5th to the 8th round and then turn it back on, and that's when Paul's going to take his advantage. And all he has to do is win a couple in the beginning and a couple in the middle, well, all those in the middle when Sergio take off, and then just do his thing like he did with Margarito, win them last couple ones and call it a night.
All right,
but we probably will see a trilogy, though.
All right, so you have it as a draw, BJ?
Half and half. I have a draw slash Paul Whitney.
It's confusing. It's confusing, isn't it?
I'm confused. I'm just
confused. I went out on a limb. I don't really know he's going to do that. I just wanted to be fun and different.
We're all confused for the first time.
I don't know what the hell is going to happen because the first fight was so weird. Like BJ broke it down real well because that's what happened in the first fight. It was like 5th to 8th, Paul got on his stick. Then Martinez came back. But one thing Paul does well in them close fights, he comes out in the 12th round and go to work. That's what wins him these close fights.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys my synopsis on this. All right, so both fighters are in a good position. Shout out to both of them for taking the rematch because most people would duck and hide for a rematch. Martinez is definitely the sneakier, slicker guy. Obviously he had some success, with Paul the first time, and he's had some success, against Padwick as well. Whereas last time, like I said, when we saw Paul Williams, he got clipped by Cintron, and Cintron jumped out the window. And the one thing that people are saying is that, wow, Paul is definitely not. And I will go out on a limb. As much as I like Paul, he's definitely not the better boxer. Definitely not I'll repeat. He's definitely not the better boxer. Hands down, Sergio Martinez is the better boxer, and he showed you that in the first fight, which is why Paul was having so much trouble. Paul doesn't use his height. Sergio's 5'10". Sergio, he was trying to stalk Sergio. Sergio was jabbing him and moving, using the cyclist theory that Sleep was talking about, to death. The caveat in this whole fight is what you guys said, the weight. And that's what really concerns me. I had Martinez winning, prior to this, but I just think that weight is just a little bit, too much. Paul's also really good, man, in these sequels, as we've seen before. And I think with an opportunity to adjust, on normal circumstances, I would have picked Martinez, but I'm definitely going with Paul by unanimous decision. I think Martinez is going to have his flashes, but I think Paul is going to etch out a decision at the end. And, we're going to see. The good thing about it is it's a win-win for everybody because, those guys get to be on the limelight, on the main stage, and we get to see a good fight. So which was a fight
for free.
between